Welcome to EnfinityCast, where we unravel the threads of technology that weave our world. Today, we're talking about a color, but not just any color. We're talking about a shade so valuable, so difficult to create, that it defined empires, dictated laws, and was worth more than its weight in gold. It's a story of power, politics, and sea snails. Here to help me dive into this colorful history is the brilliant Solene Vox.
Thanks, Elias. It's fascinating because today we take color for granted. But in the ancient world, a vibrant, lasting color was the pinnacle of technology. The value of a dye wasn't just about how it looked, but the sheer effort it took to produce. And no color demonstrates this better than Tyrian purple, the legendary dye of the Phoenicians.
And when you say effort, you're not kidding. This wasn't something you could just mix up. The process was grueling and, frankly, disgusting. To get this specific, color-fast purple, dye makers in the city of Tyre had to harvest thousands of Murex brandaris sea snails. They would crack open the shells to extract a tiny gland which secreted a clear mucus.
And that mucus was the key. When exposed to sunlight and air, it would miraculously transform through yellow, green, blue, and finally into a deep, rich purple. But the scale of the operation is what's truly staggering. Historians estimate it took over 10,000 snails, each giving up its single precious drop just to dye the hem of a single Roman toga.
Imagine the smell. The shores near these dye works were said to be covered in mountains of rotting snail shells, the stench legendary for miles. This monumental effort is precisely what made the color so exclusive. It wasn't just a dye, it was a liquid asset, a wearable bank account.
Exactly, and this is where we get to the tyranny of purple. Its rarity meant it could be controlled. In Rome, they enacted what were called sumptuary laws, rules that dictated who could wear what. For a time, only the emperor himself was allowed to wear a solid Tyrian purple toga, the toga picta. Senators might be permitted a single stripe on their own togas, a constant visible reminder of the social hierarchy.
So it was literally illegal for a common person to wear purple even if they could somehow afford it. It was a technology of social control, branding people with their status. This demand also fueled a massive economic engine. The Phoenicians, the original masters of the dye, built their entire trade empire on the back of this snail mucus. It drove maritime innovation, established trade routes, and funded cities.
It did, for centuries. But like all technologies, it was eventually superseded. The secret to Tyrian purple was so closely guarded that after the fall of Constantinople in 1453, one of the last major production hubs, the knowledge was effectively lost. The color of kings vanished.
Until, in a wonderful twist of technological history, an 18-year-old chemist named William Henry Perkin accidentally created the first synthetic dye in 1856 while trying to synthesize quinine. The color? Mauve, a shade of purple. Suddenly, what took thousands of snails and a stinking fortune to create could be made in a lab vat.
And just like that, the tyranny was broken. Purple became available to everyone, and its power as an exclusive status symbol dissolved. It's a perfect example of how a single technological innovation, whether it's learning to get dye from a snail or from coal tar, can fundamentally reshape our society, our economy, and even our ideas of power.
From a snail to a laboratory, the story of purple is a story of human ingenuity. A huge thanks to Solene Vox for joining me today, and thank you for listening to EnfinityCast. Join us next time as we explore another piece of the technology that defines our world.